What? What did you say?
Yeah, sorry, I probably shouldn't have said anything.
One of the most powerful moments in film, it doesn't happen during an intense emotional standoff or a emotional outburst like I see so often on edits about best performances. And even though those performances are incredibly well done and still give you that powerful emotional moment, it's in the intense silence of the everyday social situations that we find ourselves in that you see the humanity of a character reveal itself. I want to analyze a scene from A Real Pain, a movie that I recently watched and I really liked. This scene is the climax of the film, but it doesn't happen during an intense moment where everything is uplifted, but it happens in a simple dinner scene. And A Real Pain's encapsulation of the craft of filmmaking comes together perfectly, transforming a simple dinner scene into a profound character study and deliberate choices that externalize the internal conflicts of the protagonists. At first glance, this is a simple scene. A group of friends share family stories over dinner.
Our grandmother,
Grandma Dory.
But beneath this is a complex web of guilt, resentment, and unresolved traumas between cousins Benji and David.
Well, that's great, man. I'm just happy to see you happy. I know it's been such a tough few months for you. So
I also want to say that I know you're not the most comfortable person with groups and people and social shit like that.
I'm not?
No, but it's amazing that you're here putting yourself out there so boldly for me.
But before I go into detail on this scene, I think some context is important. Jesse Eisenberg playing David and Kieran Culkin playing Benji go on a Jewish heritage tour through Poland. Their characters are drastically different, with different perspectives and motives. This all culminates in this scene we're going to look at today, where you find out the reasons for the tension between the characters. I want to start this deep dive into the scene with the music. It's what brings us into this scene, and it becomes important later. What's interesting about the music of this film is Jesse Eisenberg did not hire a modern composer to make the music, but instead, all the music is classical music, and all originally composed by Chopin, a classical romantic era composer from Poland. Jesse Eisenberg did this because, for one, his love of Chopin, but also to juxtapose the juvenile feelings coming from the characters' performances with the more grown-up and elegant classical music. Right before this scene, we hear Have Nugula play, the only non-Chopin song to be featured. That's because it's not part of the score, but instead diegetic music coming from the restaurant. A perfect transition of sound to this important scene, hidden by the movie's use of similar music. The scene opens with an establishing shot. The camera first focuses on the pianist, then tracks to reveal the dinner group. This choice immediately establishes the first layer of tension, the loud piano.
I'm sorry, I'm just having a little trouble competing with Have Nugula.
Notice Benji's expression during this music. We instantly register his discomfort, and that's highlighted by his line.
Anti-Semitic pricks.
This brief moment of pure storytelling effectively communicates his relationship to his heritage, a relationship that becomes central to the scene's conflict. Observe how the actor playing Benji occupies this space compared to David. Benji physically is disruptive and expansive. He interrupts, curses, and eventually consumes physical space in this sequence.
I got to pee. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll get that. Don't worry.
In contrast to David's performance, his body language is calm, his speech patterns controlled.
Designed dresses, but she couldn't afford fashion school, so she got stuck working as a secretary.
She was the only one in the whole fucking family that would keep me honest, Everyone else just disappeared and I needed them most.
This moment, this micro-expression, is masterful. The performance reveals volumes about Benji's internal state through minimal means. His accusation is ostensibly directed at David, creating a moment of charged subtext that the camera captures perfectly. The visual language subtly evolves through this scene. We begin with a wide shot of the entire dinner party, establishing the community. But as tensions rise between the cousins, the framing shifts to create visual isolation. In moments of tension between the cousins, the shots are framed centrally and straight on, giving a moment of isolation to those characters' feelings, highlighting their performance. At the central moment of this scene, David reveals his feelings about Benji. During this moment, there is one of my favorite uses of the dolly zoom, a perfect moment that employs this effect. David is isolated from the group. The dolly zoom starts as he enters his own world of thought and lets out his
I want
feelings.
to kill him, and I want to be him, you know, and I feel like so stupid around him, you know, because he is so fucking cool and he just does not give a shit. And then just like being here with him is just so fucking baffling to me, you know? It's just baffling because it's like, how did this guy come from the survivors of this place, you know? I mean, that your uncle had to sell like used furniture to rich assholes, or like couldn't get into medical school, and that you survived like the worst thing to happen on this planet in the last 30 years. And that our grandma survived by 1,000 miracles when the entire world was trying to kill her, you know? And I look at him and I just like want to ask him. I just want to ask him, and I just can't. Like, how did the product of 1,000 fucking miracles overdose on a bottle of sleeping pills?
What? Like, what did you say?
Yeah, he tried to. Yeah, sorry, I probably shouldn't have said anything.
The editing creates its own narrative, through rhythm and timing. Early in the scene, cuts are relaxed and conversational, matching the surface-level pleasantries. As tension emerges, watch how the cuts become longer. This is a great moment to further isolate David from the group as he starts spilling his emotions.
I'm oversharing. Oh, they're back again.
What elevates this scene beyond conventional filmmaking is how these craft elements don't just support the narrative, they are the narrative. The tensions between cousins isn't just told through the dialogue, but embodied in every technical choice. From the opening camera move to the final image, the filmmakers transform what could have been a standard dinner conversation into a profound character study by deploying cinematography, performance, editing, and sound design in service of the theme and emotion. The result is a scene where the craft itself becomes the storytelling, where how something is shown matters as much as what is shown. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting the channel, and thanks for watching.